Okay, hey everyone. I thought I was going to take a longer break than this till we got to the anniversary, but something has just come out that makes me want to do a PSA/discussion, mini discussion. What is that? Popularity poll 3. Now let's go click to enter. Hope my screen is recording this. And I'm actually looking at, I think these are like current popularity poll results that I'm looking at right here. Well, before I reveal to you all who the top ones are, at least as I'm making this video, let me explain to those of you who do not know how this works. Each year, Nikke does a popularity poll, and I think the top 5 get something special, but specifically the top 1 gets a certain outfit. And typically, from the 2 examples we've had, the community has loved them. Yeah, these were the previous 2 winners. Now, for those of you who are wondering why you still don't know about this character, it's because I'm trying to avoid speaking on her. If you do not know, please either look or play the beginning of the story. I don't want to take that away from you. She was the first person who won for a reason. But you do know, Red Hood, I think one of the most popular videos on my channel still, and short, is Red Hood's red dress, which was due to this poll. And on a side note, I did not realize how lucky I was to get Modernia early on. I think in the first video you see, she's there. I didn't even know I had the fit too because I joined, I think, at the right time. Because I think at a certain time you can't get these anymore, which is a shame. I think like they should always be available. But anyways, so as you see up here, the Nikke who won first place in the previous popularity poll will enter the popularity hall and will not be included in this round of the voting. So these 2 will never come back, which makes sense. The developers already know, they cooked. And funny enough, I think these 2, like compared to like a lot of other characters, they don't have as much screen time. At least I think not compared to the current top 2. Now, why I had to make this video, aside from advising people that, you know, the voting is out there, but I had to talk about this because popularity polls have been a thing since I started my channel. Like, first game I played did a popularity poll, and it was always a thing for me that if your main character wasn't at least, I think, in the top 5 of a poll, then that might be an indication that something is wrong. And I listed a bunch of other examples that had main female protagonists, and those characters typically were high up within that top 5 rank. Rapi, if I can show the previous poll result on my screen, did not reach that top 5. And I understand why. Truly, it seems like when the game started and when we got the Pilgrim's backstory, well, to speak a bit about Modernia, there was a debate on who was the real main character, and it was between her and Rapi. Though also, as I mentioned, since these characters are gonna be getting a free skin, ideally people want somebody that they actually use. Modernia, for those who don't know the game, is an incredibly powerful unit. Rapi has been a super rare and one of the weak. She's literally like one of the starting units you get. So many have been theorizing that Rapi, being a starting unit, that sold her chance in the popularity poll because the costume aspect is a part of it. People most likely aren't using Rapi like their top tier teams because she was a super rare unit, not a super rare. So they thought that that's why Modernia got the edge. Same with Red Hood. Red Hood was a very powerful unit as well. Both of these 2, like, they're elites. If you want to get through the story fast, they are 2 to get. But now things have changed. Rapi has now joined their ranks as a very powerful unit. Super rare. And we can truly see how things are going to go. But there's one other person that I talked about. Honestly speaking, while I hear what people are saying about why Rapi didn't get a lot more popular, I also think she was below Anise, who was also on her same squad. I think, like I said before, the real culprit was that Rapi was still lacking a lot of things for her to stand out as the main character. The Goddess Squad, I felt, had those qualities. And in the past, I definitely think Red Hood, especially with everyone else changing so much, would definitely be the favorite for people out of the Goddess Squad, especially considering, her whole backstory. I think what really sets these two apart, character development, which is why I was paying close attention to Cinderella and Old Tales. Like I said with these two, they aren't here. Like you see the current story. They're not here. Red Hood is, deceased, and Modernia is elsewhere and probably won't be coming back for a good while. But Cinderella is different. First, she got the same type of character development that the Goddess Squad did. In fact, some people argue that her story is the best in the game, and I cannot argue, especially considering who you might also consider the main villain was not only her comrade, but the person who did the most harm to Cinderella as well. If Red Shoes ever shows back up, Cinderella is the main one I want fighting her. She's the main one who's got beef with her. In addition, unlike Red Hood and Modernia, Cinderella has no real reason to leave us. I mean, yeah, she technically did just leave us in the story, but considering I think the hints that Siren is going to be coming back soon, she won't be leaving us for long. And if Cinderella's gathering her team, once she has them, she has zero reasons to leave us, especially if her team is grateful for us and helping them reunite. It almost seems like just how the Goddess Squad had a commander, we would be the commander of the Old Tales, especially since Ave currently doesn't have her memory. And when I was looking at the Old Tales story, I was like, it almost seems like Cinderella's the main character. And I said at the end of Cinderella's story, the developers would need to make sure that Rapi, she needed a way to fight back. Like, Cinderella would absolutely overshadow her if she and Rapi were in the same story. But I am almost certain the developers knew that that was going to be an issue. Because right when we did get Cinderella, then Rapi leveled up. With the power of the person who did the finishing blow to her. Not only that, but they gave us Rapi's backstory, and Rapi is being more honest about her emotions, character development. All that now has Rapi to be primed to be in the top 5 of the popularity hall. However, and now I will reveal the current results. Yeah. On the first day, Rapi was actually in the lead, and this is the second day, currently Cinderella is in the lead. If you want my thinking, I think the developers do want Rapi to win this, and that's why they did everything that they did. Because like I said, part of what people thought was the issue was that power was a factor. I'm gonna tell you right now, Crown is also, all 5 of them are heavy hitters. They are not terrible units. Well, they're pilgrim units. Or, they're supposed to be stronger than the norm. But these two in particular, power level is not going to be a deciding factor. Like, people will use Rapi, people will use Cinderella. But I'm pretty sure, because it always interested me that Cinderella got an outfit like around the same time she was revealed, and I'm pretty sure it was due to this. Yeah, so if you look here, top 1, new costume. Top 5, special in-game avatar frame. Top 1, exclusive theme song. Top 3, official art celebration. So, to help Rapi's chances, because I think they also knew, even with all of Rapi's bonuses, Cinderella's still a very powerful contender. Like, I don't think there's any issue. This is good, right? Like I said, a main character should be in the top 5. They don't always have to be the top 1. But I think top 5 is good. That way they're not being completely overshadowed by someone. And this is not an overshadowing. This is close to being a tie when you consider just the difference between Rapi and Crown. But to finish what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure they gave Cinderella her outfit to help nerf how many votes she would get, so that to help Rapi win. I'm not saying that that's dishonest. I actually really like that because they want everyone to be happy. Thing is, though, especially someone like me, I've been free to play. I only bought that outfit because of how well the developers did, and I said I want to give back. But a lot of people who either aren't free to play or they may have joined the game afterwards and they can't get that outfit anymore, they still don't have something for Cinderella. So while that did help, I'm sure, it's still, a lot of people are still voting for Cinderella despite that fact. And then there's the fact that, again, Old Tales is considered to be in the running for the best story in the game. Oh, and I almost forgot. Another point that the developers might have done is Rapi's outfit. Rapi's first outfit was, well, she was being compared with someone like 2B, especially with being the face of this game. She has a lot on display. Her upgraded form is actually quite reserved. Now, I don't particularly mind that. Like I always say with games like this, how I got into this series is different. Many people, when they're playing the game, they want cake. Especially when a character was known for giving you cake in the past. Cinderella, she's double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. It's actually, yeah, I'm gonna upload this on Thursday. She's double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. And both of her outfits. Again, I don't think modesty is a thing Cinderella, she didn't understand that. So that's another thing the developers did to help out Rapi, because there's almost like they're saying, if you want Rapi to, I guess, quote unquote, be unleashed, have her win the poll. Both of these outfits are quite loved. And then Rapi can get her new costume. And yet, despite all those, currently Cinderella is in the lead. What do I think? Well, I'll show you. Oh, and by the way, yeah, here's the voting. I like seeing Helm that high, but again, yeah, Goddess Squad, Goddess Squad, Goddess Squad. And by the way, I don't know if people have, wait, what? Yeah, I guess. Over. Okay. I can't. All right, people. All right. I understand. I can't say anything after making that video. And again, see how high Anise is? I guarantee you, if Rapi didn't have a Red Hood form, she would be underneath Anise. Actually, yeah, let me see, any others? Yeah, look. Nihilister. Dang, Nihilister over Rapunzel? Okay. Laplace and Drake. Where's Maxwell? Is Maxwell... Oh, dang, yeah, Maxwell's low. Noise is low? Noise was actually quite high earlier. Interesting. Noise is lower than Vault. Yeah, that is interesting. But anyways, I also do think part of this is that a lot of people who would vote for their favorites are now trying to show up for... Because I don't think these results have been this lopsided in a minute. Normally, I think they're similar to this. Well, these three. Also, Scarlet is getting sold because her votes are split between two characters. But even if you add up Scarlet's votes, which would put her above Crown, she would still be below these two. My thing is this. I can't decide. All right? I can't decide because, like I said, for all the arguments that I've done, honestly, I do want Rapi to be able to say as the main character she won a poll. But at the same time, I don't want, because I feel like if Cinderella doesn't win this, it may be hard for her to win another one, especially if, Siren, Hansel and Gretel come back, let alone if Leviathan or Behemoth are actually included in the conversation. And then there's Anise herself. Like I said, I think before Rapi Red Hood, Anise was the most popular of the main characters. So she might skyrocket. I'm believing that Rapi will eventually win. If the polls keep going, she doesn't win this one. I think she will win eventually. She's not going to keep getting beat out. But Cinderella, I'm not so sure. Maybe that's just a weird thing I'm saying. I don't know. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you're wondering what I think about this, I agree. Is Dorothy a villain? Uh-huh. Do I still like her? Yeah, absolutely. This is a Kurome situation, all right? I don't want her to go down too dark a path. But after I saw her story, I was like, oh, I understand. I understand. I understand. Do what you gotta do. If I gotta stay in your way, I understand too. But I can't fault you for a single thing you're doing. So yeah, I do not. Dorothy's story was originally, I think, what people said was the best one. So then Red Hoods and Cinderella's entered the competition. So yeah, long story short, for me, I like them both. All right. I want to support them both. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the people decide. I don't want to sway anyone on one decision or another. But I do think that the developers are wanting Rapi to win. And I do think as well, if Cinderella does win, they're going to give Rapi a skin somehow. It'll be paid, yes. And people's wallets will probably be hurting. But I can't see them going a whole another year without giving the new version of Rapi a new skin, especially if something happens in the actual story. But I do think Cinderella earned a spot at the top for what happened. And I do think Rapi has now gained her main character. Like, yeah, this is a main character. Not just because she's redhead, okay? She has the power and the character development worth of the main character, and as the story goes on, she will continue to develop more and more. So, with that being said, my fifth choice it's Helm. It's Helm. Yeah. I'm not that I'm saying Helm should beat anybody out there. Just if you know me, water, blue themed, swords, I gotta vote for Helm. Helm was, even without what they did, Helm was still one of my favorites. Despite she's in the Aegis squad. Actually, I like the whole Aegis squad, but anyways. So yeah, that's my vote. Share. I've shared more. I got a whole video. Come on now. This should count. I did share. All right, I shared. I'm sharing with hopefully a good amount of people now. But yeah, I just had to showcase that. Oh, and in case you were wondering, give me a sec. Of course, Red Hood's outfit was that. I have absolutely no issues with that. If Rapi ever got something like that, that would be a problem. And Modernia's was this. Yeah.
Whenever I hug you tight, I fall fast asleep.
No, this is still like, yeah, like oh, and yeah, she did get, this was actually a story-based scene. We may see this, by the way. I was tempted to start recording when this came out. I still haven't watched the event, but I'm going to need to eventually. But just to, yeah. You know what? Yeah. So, yeah. Long story short, that's what people are fighting for. All right. Not to do a Mulan reference. And honestly speaking, I mean, again, Cinderella, it kind of like honestly, if they try to top that, I don't even know what the heck they're gonna do. Which I think, again, is why that was what they would have done for Cinderella and why they want Rapi.
I do not die or break. Not under any circumstance.
Why they want Rapi to be the new one. Because, again, not that I mind this, but she is still quite reserved in this. So, we'll see. We'll see. There's still days left. If you all want to vote, be sure to go vote. But that's gonna do it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed this little video. I'm thinking the next time I upload will probably be 2.5 anniversary, and Siren's got my attention. Though we may have to do something else on that. A side story that I also haven't seen. But nevertheless, With that being said, post your thoughts down in the comments below about this, and also who you voted for, if you don't mind. And I will see you all next time.